Hello, this is SteelZenith, and today I'm going to be looking at a replay I played yesterday in my WZ-120 on Live Oaks. As you can see, I'm platooned up with Nicky and Azrael. Nicky's in his 704 and Azrael's in the FV-207, the Tier 8 Brit artillery. And when I spawn in the north in a medium on this map, I like to go south along the rail lines and spot for TDs and artillery along there, and obviously engage any mediums that they may have if I feel that I can take them out. I headed out my way to destroy the tents in base. You should always do that. You can use those to take cover from people trying to defend cap if it comes to that point. So you take away a slight advantage that the enemy may have if it comes to a cap race. As you can see, heading south, there's a T-44 with me, Nicky in his 704, the one of the Yak-Bunting 100s, and T-34. I mean, in this game there's a lot of TDs on the enemy team, so if I get spotted I need to be careful, and I spot the E50 and the WZ-120 on their team coming this way. The WZ-120 is stock, I think, or at least he's not fully upgraded. But between him and the E50 they could take me out, so I'm not going to push down there. Plus I don't know where their TDs are located yet, and so I need to play this cautiously. WZ is going around slightly around the side in order to take shots at our flanks, and T-44 gets hit by him once, and then a big TD from back there or artillery hits him again and gets taken out by the WZ-120. I'm just playing this very cautiously, trying to spot for the TDs and artillery behind me, and I managed to get an eye on an AMX 5100. Now if I pull into this bush I can hit that AMX 5100, hopefully without getting spotted in return. My first shot merely tracks him. The artillery doesn't have any shots at the moment on him, so second shot managed to penetrate, but I get spotted, and then he takes a hit from the artillery. Their 268 has just taken up a T-34, so I'm safe to pull up, or relatively so. 5100 puts one into me, but I return the favour, and he's already taken another hit from our artillery at the same time. Now that was a big arty shot, so I know that some of them are aiming down here and I need to keep on the move. In this I'm swinging my camera around a lot, trying to keep an eye on both the mediums and the 5100, as well as whereabouts the TDs are located behind me, to see what lines of fire they have. And prototype A in the middle hit the 5100, and he's down at very low health. Now 268 and the 704 show up, and my shot on the 268 hits his tracks and tracks him, but he takes a big chunk of my health off. I managed to put one in him as he goes down. He's playing this fairly cautiously. There's two big TDs behind me, plus the artillery. So rather than stick around and try and take another shot to take me out, he goes back down into that dip. E50 gets taken out by our artillery, so now it's only the WZ on the flank here. At this point, you can see that our town team, or the part of our team that headed to town, isn't doing exactly well. Got 3 tier 10 TDs against them, and they take out our KV4 there. There's just T57 and the STI defending town. There's Batchat in quite an advanced position at D4. Someone puts a big hit on that 704, and Ayakatiga decides to move up and try to take it out. But going over this rise in Ayakatiga, Yakpanzer E100 is dangerous, and he gets taken out by the 704 instead of taking it out. I know the 704 is just fired, so I chance a long distance snipe at him. Doesn't penetrate, but it's always worth taking a free shot at tanks. I'm still just trying to spot at the moment. There's no point in pushing forward with those TDs behind. Spot the WZ and try to take a shot at him, but that was never going to hit. Immediately pull back. So the rest of our tanks in town have fallen. It's just me, this prototype A, Nicky, and the 3 artillery left against 9 of their tanks. Managed to spot the 704 and the 268. RT takes a shot at me, and because it's the T92, manages to do a bit of splash damage. Got a bit lucky that it didn't hit me directly, otherwise that would have been GG from me. And the WZ, seeing me on low health, decides to push in. Fortunately for me, he misses his first shot, and I reload quicker than him and take him out. 268 is putting pressure on me, but seeing me facing him, he decides not to push in. As you can see, there's T124 has been spotted near our base. Archie's still raiding down around me. It's probably the GW Panther that hit that shot. Splash radius was minus, so I didn't take any damage from it. Now while I'd love to head back and help defend against those tanks, there's still 2 big TDs over here, so I can't just leave this flank undefended. Need to rely on the prototype A, the artillery, and Nicky to take out those guys, and Nicky manages to hit the T124 and take him out. As 704 comes pushing forward over the bridge, and I bounce on my first shot, and I think that he's got me here, but I just managed to get out of his way, use this Yakpanzer E100 as cover. My second shot, that was an attempt at a track shot, fails, but I get behind him, and from here I can take him out pretty easily. Although bearing in mind that they've still got 3 artillery, I can't stay still for long. Our M4043 got taken out, and there's just 2 artillery left. And that Jagdtiger is using the buildings as cover, so Nicky needs to head back. He can't give me any assistance over here at the moment. I'm on my own. Although that 268 is pretty low health, he can still one-shot me. And there's still artillery, so I'm not going to push forward. Just try and spot. If I can catch him unawares, I may be able to take him out. Now think about heading back again, but there's still that 268 back there, and so far it's only the Jagdtiger that's been spotted. T123 is probably still in about A5, A6 supporting him from over there. But with 2 tanks on 1 here in our base, the Leopard prototype A and Nikki, with the support of the artillery, they should be able to take this guy out. The only worry is, of course, that their artillery may manage to hit one of our tanks. See, this has gone from being 9 tanks against 6 to being 5 tanks versus 6. They still have 2 tier 10s, whereas we've only got the 1 tier 10 artillery at the moment. The T-68 gets spotted moving over the tracks by me, and I tried to take a shot at his side, but I misjudge and end up only hitting the front of his tank and bouncing off. Of course I get spotted doing that, so I need to pull back immediately. Azrael took out their T-110E3 with a good shot from his artillery, and Nikki finishes off the Arc Tiger. And now this is looking like a match we can win. 268 is on very low health, but we need to push forward together rather than separately in order to take him out. If we push forward separately, he could just finish us off one by one. So I'm just waiting for the prototype A and Nikki to catch up with me a bit before pushing in. Now that I see the prototype A moving, I'm going to start moving myself. Any second. There we go. So after that fairly hectic few minutes where I was facing 5 tanks, I'm now feeling fairly confident that we're going to win this. So I think that the 268 might be in K4 or over this ridge, and so I wait for Nikki to catch up a bit before pushing in. I'm also just trying to peek over this ridge, maybe make him miss a shot if he's aiming at me, or aiming this way. And after a couple of times of doing that, I realized that he can't be, or is very unlikely to be in K4, so I still don't know where he is, but he could be on my right here. So again, playing it cautiously. The GW Panther gets spotted on our base, but with the 268 spotted in their base, I know that the priority is to take him out. It's the biggest threat. He gets a pretty low roll on our Leopard prototype A, who survives with 36 health. And having fired, I have the confidence to push in here, and I've got a shot straight at his side, which I hit and take him out. Nikki's pulling back to get shot on the GW Panther and takes him out, and the prototype A has found their T-92. Prototype A was playing, I think, most of this game with out getting spotted, and he did a great job in that swamp area. And the 268 was a really polite enemy. He congratulated me on a good game. I wish more people would be like that in this game. Now, as you can see, my platoon took out 8 of their tanks. We're in tier 9s in a tier 10 game, so that's a pretty epic achievement in my opinion. And the other 2 tanks that remained alive for that game took out 4. So my feeling about this game was that it was a great effort on the part of those players that managed to stay alive until the end of the game. Of course, we couldn't have done it out with the rest of our team. They dealt damage to these tanks, but it really was a uphill fight from about a couple of minutes in. and every player on my team that stayed alive did a great job. So anyway, thanks for watching, and again, I'm SteelZenith. Goodbye.